All right, guys. Let's talk about something here. I have many of these of things I've reported. Usually, I get these when I comment on videos, especially bigger channels when I leave comments, and I don't comment too often. Generally, because the creators say pretty much everything I'm feeling, and I'll leave like an agree or whatever. I'm not looking for clout. I just want to interact. But a number of these happen. If you interact on TikTok, you see these. And I know most people are like, "Well, just ignore them." But that's the thing, is ignoring them is part of the problem, but we're not going to address that. I addressed that elsewhere. But here's the issue right here. This right here shows how flawed the reporting system on TikTok is. This reporting is an automated process, and here's how you can tell. That is obviously the "you win" open link about a scam link that's going to be there. That's not hard to tell. Anybody would know that. Anybody. So I reported it. You can see that's back on 11/9/2023. And then it says, reviewing your report. We'll review and take action if there's a violation of our community guidelines. Okay. And you can see they got to it pretty fast. It took them a half hour. The automated system got to it in about a half hour. I say automated because no human being reviewed this and went, yeah, that's fine. None. Because if you look at that profile, it is scammy as all can be. And it says, we found that the reported content doesn't violate our community guidelines. We understand that you may not want to see this type of content, and you have the option to block this account. Blocking the account isn't good enough, though. See, and the thing is that this is not something hard to automate out of the TikTok system or any other platform. This can be fixed. It's really simple. They're just not putting the effort into it. It doesn't even need manual review. You can filter these out pretty simply in the system. And yes, some will require manual review. Some. But things like this, they shouldn't. As easy as restricting those types of emojis from a username would do part of the trick for it. Or if you allowed them in, filtering out by that, because somebody that's real could appeal this and be like, no, I'm real. I'm not scamming anybody. If you look at my name, it's just a misconception. But instead, they let these run rampant. I see the same for Cash App and other things like that. So they don't fix these. There's no fix for this because they choose not to. Part of this is because the TikTok platform needs numbers, and these bot accounts or these accounts that are spun up like this count towards their user count. So if TikTok tomorrow said they had 1 billion users, I can guarantee you at least a third of that is accounts like these. And they don't want to get rid of them until it's convenient for them. So they'll shave some of these numbers off here and there. This happens on all platforms too. They'll shave these numbers off here and there, and they'll count it up. They'll chalk it up to a certain kind of assumed loss, right? Like, wow, we added 100,000 users this month, but we lost 10,000 due to spam and bots. Twitter did the same thing and does the same thing. And that's why. That's the only reason you're seeing it there. There's no other reason for it. These accounts aren't viewing videos. They're not in the traditional sense. They're looking for comments and they're posting automatically. These are pretty much bot run. A lot of these are. Very few of these are going to be actually people putting these in. Every platform has a similar issue like this that is easily fixable, and it is not simply because of the fact that platform wants the numbers. YouTube gets videos about getting free stuff, about doing the cash crates thing was a big thing on the fraud. It's prohibited. It's strictly prohibited. I've reported tons of videos that end up showing up about that. They do nothing with them. Very few have got removed. What we need to have happen is these platforms need to be better regulated. There need to be laws stating they need to do more effort to remove these accounts. They don't belong there. And some people get roped into this stuff. Some people don't know better. A small portion, but it's enough that there is an industry of people making money off these. If these were not making money off of people clicking links and putting in information, having their identity stolen, because that's another issue, these wouldn't exist. It would cease to exist. There are scams that have stopped to exist because they just don't make sense anymore. Because they don't make money. You know, those things just don't work anymore. A lot of things where two-factor authentication has been implemented, you see those scams have decreased just a bit. So this is something the platforms need to be doing. They can, and unfortunately, the dinosaurs we have in Congress that can regulate these kind of things, that do have some power over this, they're just not doing anything. And unfortunately, the leadership on this app has no interest in fixing these either because it serves a purpose to them. It serves a purpose that makes their numbers look good, and that's it. So what are your thoughts on this? You know, where should we start to try to get this resolved? You know, I have written letters to Congress people. They just get the same canned generic response because, again, those people don't work for us. They really don't care. You know, these need to be cleaned up. So anyway, guys,